Damn, old slick head ass nigga, took you 2 years to answer the phone. You trying to collab for a video?
Hey, fuck you, nigga. I'm about to go in my goddamn room. It's too goddamn hot down here. Shit, it's got humid as all hell. Turn my damn air on. I've been sweating and shit.
Well, I guess that's a no. With Injustice 2 slowly approaching, the gaming community getting closer and closer, there has to be several questions developing about the newly added characters of Injustice 2. And this specific video is about Blue Beetle, also known as Jaime Reyes, following the questions as in, would he actually be able to contend with characters such as the likes of Wonder Woman as shown in his reveal trailer. And in this video we'll dig deep and see if he truly can, or if he'll only be brushed aside without the help of those fucking pills Superman, I don't know, the fucking pills they was taking in Injustice, making them all strong and shit. I don't know what the shit called. Many people did not know of Blue Beetle or any of his abilities until he appeared in season 2 of Young Justice, or they saw what they saw of him from Batman the Brave and the Bold, though those versions of that specific Blue Beetle are a lot more weakened. They're far more nerfed to match the narrative of the story. When it comes to like the full scale of power and endurance for Blue Beetle, he can reach much higher levels that are similar to that of the many superpowered characters that we have grown to love in DC. For example, my first example to speak of his endurance would be the fact that he was able to fall from orbit around the Earth and back to the surface of Earth unharmed. That speaks many levels about his endurance. That is enough to kill several members, or at least incapacitate many of the members that are even in the Injustice game itself, which those characters are now able to contend with characters that can naturally endure something like that. But Blue Beetle can already do it without any special enhancements other than his Blue Beetle Scarab. And second is the fact that he was able to endure attacks from very powerful characters. For one, such as the likes of Lobo, who was added to Injustice as a DLC. Lobo is a galactic bounty hunter who was able to contend with the likes of Superman and Supergirl and such characters. He was able to survive an attack from him, and not only that, attack from a bloodthirsty Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is a character who himself was a Green Lantern, defeated Atrocitus, and took his ring from his dying body. And Atrocitus himself was just recently added to the game and shown fighting Supergirl himself. And he was able to endure an attack from Guy Gardner while he was fairly new to his Blue Beetle Scarab, thus hardly even understanding his power and knowing its capabilities. All of the above only lightly speaks for his endurance, but when it comes to terms of strength, his strength is vastly immense. He was able to contend with the strengths of Giganta, who attempted to crush him, though he was able to pry her hands apart and keep himself alive. And Giganta is several stories tall, thus being several times his size. And then he's able to even catch flying trucks, cars, and other vehicles single-handedly, and being able to multitask with his other hand. Thus, the weight of a semi-truck can basically be ignored by him. And this is only his strength, not his offensive power. When it comes to his raw offensive power, he is monstrous. The technology of his suit is extremely dangerous. It has the capability of producing attacks similar to that of a nuclear explosion. And not only that, it's able to repel the power of a powerful Sinestro Corp Lantern. The Sinestro Corp Lantern is one that uses the power of fear. Thus, the more they are feared, the more power they can consume. Though he has been able to repel any Yellow Lantern that has basically challenged his power. And not only that, is he was able to crack Guy Gardner's shield that he created from the light of his lantern ring, I believe his red one at the time. And he has weapons that are capable of destroying the planet. If he's able to produce a nuke, then clearly he'll be able to destroy the planet, thus pitting him on the scale of many other powerful characters. And he's able to defeat several Lanterns at once. Lanterns are characters who aren't the most powerful, but are generally pretty strong when it comes to the rest of the DC universe. And when it comes to his defense outside of his raw endurance, which lets him survive that of a nuclear explosion, he can activate several force fields and form shields with his morphing ability from his Scarab, creating armor and force fields that actually harm the Flash when the Flash tries to vibrate to it. And not only that, he doesn't have to consciously defend himself each time. His Scarab has a mind of its own and can immediately form countermeasures that it can either enact itself or tell Jaime Reyes exactly what he can do in that particular situation. Thus, even when he lacks a certain amount of knowledge to defeat an enemy, his Scarab can run an analysis that will help him basically figure out possibilities or options to either fight around or penetrate through a defense or offense an enemy may have. Many people may wonder, why haven't they seen any of these feats of Jaime Reyes, aka Blue Beetle, in any of his animated features? Though you have to look into his specific character to understand this. Jaime Reyes himself fears the potential destruction and damage that his Scarab can cause, much like how Superman and other extremely powerful characters limit themselves. He does the same thing, because also being very young, he fears his potential and the possible damage that he could do to the Earth if he let his Scarab have full control. Because though his Scarab completely thinks 100% on the logical part of it without any empathy at all, while Jaime Reyes, still being a human being and a hero, also understands the importance of life and doesn't completely agree with this success by all means necessary idealism of his Scarab. Thus, he is constantly holding back and limiting himself, and the few times he has lost control, he has caused a whole lot of destruction. Thus, he has basically traumatized himself and fears his own power at times. Thus, that's why he's always holding back and never letting the full force of his suit basically unleash onto the world, because he may not have a world to save after that. Now, this basically sums up my analysis on the Blue Beetle, though I do not believe he will be as powerful as he truly is when he's put into the Injustice game in its storyline. I feel like he will be somewhat limited, though still stronger than what they have shown him capable to do in many of the animated series that we've seen him in. Thus, only being slightly more powerful, not entirely, though I do believe he will be able to contend with the likes of Wonder Woman and Supergirl when it comes down to it.